This meeting of the City of Socorro City Council is set to begin. Gentlemen, please remove your hats, and everyone please silence all electronic equipment. No disruptive behavior or outbursts will be tolerated, and violators are subject to ejection or possible prosecution. La Junta del Concilio de la Ciudad de Socorro está por empezar. Caballeros, favor de quitarse las cachuchas, los sombreros, y todos favor de poner en silencio todo el equipo electrónico. No se va a tolerar ningún tipo de comportamiento perjudicial o revoltoso. A que no siga esas reglas, se las sacará y puede ser infraccionado. Gracias.
It is 6:01 p.m. This meeting is called to order. Item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance led by Robert Rojas Elementary School students, and a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please remain standing for the moment of silence. You may be seated.
We'd like to honor these students, student council students from Robert Rojas Elementary School with a certificate. Would Ms. Denise Velarde come forward? Giselle Lescano. Zoe Carrillo. Jaciel Cadena. And Jimena Gutierrez. Thank you very much, students. You want to come forward so we can take a picture? Item number 3, establishment of quorum.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Here.
Alejandro Garcia.
Here.
Mayor Ivy Avalos.
Here.
Rudy Cruz.
Here.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Item number 4, public comment.
Mayor, we have 2 speakers. Our first speaker is Judy Priego. Ms. Priego, you have 3 minutes.
Okay, I have here some history of the Lower Valley Health Fair that I brought that I wanted to pass out to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Judy Priego, and I'm representing the Lower Valley School Nurse Association. The association is school nurses from the Socorro district. This is the, 38th year, but it should be the 40th year that we put together a health fair at Socorro High School. I say 38 because of COVID. We had to not have the health fair for 2 years. 2019 was our last one. What I gave you was a history of the health fair, which has been going on now for 38 years. It started in San Elizario. I'm not going to read it because I know I only have 3 minutes, but it basically started in San Elizario with one nurse, and it was for the community. She recognized that the community had needs, health needs, and so now going forward, we did have to go from Socorro High School to Americas High School because of the construction. And now Socorro High School, there's no more COVID, and Socorro High School is a beautiful school, and we're welcomed back there to have it again this year, April 15th of 2023. And we serve the community. The community it's open to the community. It's free. We have several health screenings, and we offer several goodies. In the past, we've had over 100 vendors. This year so far, we have 63 vendors. We have entertainment, children, like the children that came to do the Pledge of Allegiance, they do the entertainment. We have cheer groups. They're all the entertainment every hour is from different campuses within the Socorro district. So we have cheer groups, we have Folklorico from Americas, we have Montwood High School is singing the national anthem and so forth. So that is our health fair. In the past, the city of Socorro has been very generous and kind to provide a donation for us to continue to do this. And that's why I'm here representing our Lower Valley School Nurse Association to ask if we could have a donation for this health fair as well. I don't know if anybody had questions.
So this is just a public comment. We can speak afterwards if you'd
Okay.
like.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Irma Chavez?
Mayor, Council. I just wanted to bring up the issue on the streets, on the asphalt that, I live on Vineyard and Muscat, around the Passmore area. And those are the regular drives, Socorro, Passmore, Vineyard, Nicolas, the areas you pass every day. And there's always the either sinkholes, like there's one right there on Nicolas and Socorro, where the ones that are digging the holes for, what is it, for cable or whatever, they need to be accountable to actually cover the areas. You know, there's sinkholes all over Socorro, or the side streets, and they need to fix that. They just cover up with a little bit of dirt and that's it. And then also on the homes that they build right here on Passmore. Also, the builders, all the trash that they leave, it goes all into the irrigation canals. Why are they not accountable to put the trash bins there and take care of the trash? I mean, you're trying to make Socorro better, but you look at all that and it's like, I don't think so. And then, they use Socorro as a dumping area. There's not an area to walk, so we usually walk the ditch, and oh my goodness, everybody dumps their trash there. Tires, dogs, roosters, cats, whatever, live dogs. But I think that these people need to be accountable for taking care of the trash if they want to do that, I don't know who's in charge of that, but if these people are building homes, we'll take care of the trash, because you'll pass through there. If you pass through there, you'll see the sofas. Everybody's using that area for dump. And I know they're taking care of the streets. Maybe the streets that are being taken care of is maybe the new areas. What about the old Socorro, the old area, the original Socorro? Are those streets being taken care of? You pass through those. And when we get a little bit of rain, you'll see all the water collecting, and the sinkholes. There's the holes that you can see that, and you're really afraid to drive through there because you don't know what's there, the water, you know, and that's only the few drops that we get here. We don't get too much rain, but you'll see those are the times you see the sinkholes on the side of the streets. And, well, and the bus stops. I know that you're talking about the bus stops, the Brio and all that. You drive down Socorro Road, there's the bus stops, but you see the benches, they're on the ground.
Ms. Chavez, your time is up.
Anyway,
Thank you.
Mayor, those were all our speakers.
Thank you. Moving on to presentations. Item number 5, recognition to the 2023 Campus Teacher of the Year for the Socorro feeder pattern.
Thank you, Mayor. This is my item. I'm very happy to do this. As an educator myself, I know this is a big award because educators are underappreciated, and I want to make sure that you guys are always known that we hold you highly here in the city of Socorro. With that, so we're going to recognize the 2023 Campus Teacher of the Year for the Socorro feeder pattern. Excellent educators have always been the most important resource and ensure for our student success. This is a minimal recognition for extraordinary work that you do. Would you like to begin, or we can? Okay. So we're going to start with Campestre Elementary, Lizette Vasquez. Okay, our next one, I believe she's a top 8, if I'm not mistaken. Ernesto Serna School, Brenda Ornelas. From Escontrias Elementary, Maite Marquez. From HD Hilly Elementary School, Jasmine Gabriela Montañez. From Waco Elementary, Maria G. Fonseca. From Robert Rojas Elementary School, Sarah Nelly Arezi. Congratulations. They made me change. Awesome, awesome. From Salvador Sanchez, Melanie Tobias. From Socorro High School, Mabel N. Perales. From Socorro Middle, Daniel Nicole Garcia. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time and your effort in the classroom. Thank you so much.
Thank you. sorry? Yes, please. Would all the teachers step forward? Can you text her? I did. Okay.
Are they here or not here?
Right, we're gonna postpone that item. They just didn't have time to come today.
Ms. Villalobos, can you hear me?
Yes,
You must be unmuted to be counted present. Just letting you know, okay?
I have been unmuted.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay. Oh, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rosie, would you close the doors, please? Okay, moving on. Item number 6, recognition of the Socorro High School swim team.
I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to postpone this item until the April 6, 2023 meeting.
Second.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia,
Aye.
Rudy Cruz. And Ivan Colo Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 7, presentation, discussion, and action to proceed with Phase 2 of sidewalks and the submission of future funding for sidewalks.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's,
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is just a presentation to let you know from Mr. Carlos Perales from Camacho and Hernandez Engineering Firm on the potential sidewalks that we're looking at. And also, he's going to provide you an update on a request that we've done for funding.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Pleasure to be here. As Olafte mentioned, Carlos Perales. I work with I work with the engineering firm of Camacho Hernandez. We've been working with you all for a couple of months now on various work authorizations. But as Ms. Podarte alluded to, today's presentation is going to be something on sidewalks within the city of Socorro. Some of the sidewalk objectives, right? Why do we want sidewalks? You all have a really good program here. I've noticed you all have built a lot of sidewalks in the past through various phases, whether they be safe routes to school or what have you. You you'll have a really good a map showing what you all want to do in the future. So some of the things that are important with sidewalks are to enhance the integration, right, of multimodal transportation infrastructure and facilities. Also to provide safe and adequate accommodations for all users, and so forth, like all the bullets alluded to there. The last one is the one I like pretty much. It says capture more short trips by walking and biking and improving the health. But the bottom line is you want to be able to provide ingress and egress, right, for y'all's pedestrians within the city of Socorro to their place of destination, whether it be a school, a church, a park that you'll have, or a medical facility. So, as I mentioned, y'all do have a really good master sidewalk plan. Y'all have done some programs in the past, some construction on sidewalks with the Safe Routes to School program. But what I want to talk to you briefly today is the last two bullets there, the 2019 Certificate of Obligation funds that you all have presently available. And we'll get into how much it is and what we can do with that, or what we're suggesting you all do with that for now. And also the TASA, the Transportation Alternative Set-Aside Program that was just issued by TxDOT a couple of months ago. They actually have over $250 million that they're granting to entities to apply for, and I was privy to being able to help you all apply for one of these back in January. Before we start to look at the sidewalk, you know, we're kind of new to this area as an engineering firm. We wanted to see, well, how do we attack this thing? What do we want to factor into coming up with a map? So we said, let's come up with a good interactive map that you all could use. And of course, we want to consider all the schools that you'll have, places of worship, medical facilities, as I said earlier, parks. You'll have plenty of parks here in the city. We want to make sure that the districts are taken into account fairly, that you all get your fair share of construction when it comes to sidewalks. We don't want to just emphasize on one versus the other. Right away, I put in there because there's some projects that you all may think it's good for sidewalks. It's a perfect project, but we don't have the right of way. Or there's power poles in the way. There's a bridge or something that kind of does not make it conducive to providing a sidewalk. So in that, let me show you, I'd like to show you a map of what we have. This is kind of a map that we had started based on what you all have. And I apologize for all the little insets there. But really, you can go from either a satellite view or you can go to a map view, kind of like what you all are used to in Google Maps, right, on your phone or whatever. And one of the things that we wanted to emphasize, of course, are the districts. So we made this kind of interactive where you can just turn them on and off if you want. It shows all the districts that you'll have there. We want to consider, of course, you know, the places of worship, all the churches that are around here, any medical facilities, and of course the schools. So based on that, we kind of said, okay, that's what we want to target as far as being the focal point of where we want to provide sidewalks moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and take those off for now, just because it kind of clutters the map. But we wanted to show, this is all the existing sidewalks that you all have right now, just a map of everything that you all have within the city of Socorro. And it's a really aggressive plan that you all have had, like I say, in the past. So I applaud you all for that effort. These are certain roads. It's hard to see with the color, but we do have a color, light color yellow, where there's roads that don't have any sidewalks. The safe routes to schools are in green. The ones that have been done in the past. This is the master plan that you all have. This master plan was something that was estimated back in 2017 of about $30 million, about $27 million. We've updated those costs now to current prices, and it's actually in the neighborhood of like $40 million to do everything that you all have in your master plan. And then we have the topic today, proposed sidewalks. We want to get to, I'll take all these off and just show what we're trying to do with the CO funds for now. So going back with the presentation, this is the Certificate of Obligation funds that you all have for 2019. There's $600,000 available, and that's what we've been asked to look at. What can we do with $600,000 for the city right now? We've updated the cost, as I mentioned. The approximate cost is about $150,000 per mile. So given that lets us build approximately 4 miles of sidewalks with $600,000. So it kind of goes hand in hand with the districts. You have 4 districts, so we're thinking about 1 mile per each district. And we do want to evenly distribute it among the districts. Okay, so as far as District 1, this is what we're proposing. I know you can barely see these, but these are the ones that we're proposing with this $600,000. And looking in a little bit closer, we have Old Waco tanks and Stedham Circle. There's a piece here of Stedham Circle that we just want to complete that's already done. And the beauty of this is when you look at the interactive map at the districts, you can see how when you look at the existing sidewalks, it kind of fits with what we're planning on doing. This is the existing that was there right now, so we're just going to complete the loop here for that district, and likewise do this one right here. The other two that we want to do in the District 1 is Maxine Drive and Lydia Road also. And again, you can look at the interactive map. I won't go through every one, but you can kind of see how they go with what we're proposing. That's down here. And that's a real good connectivity to Horizon Boulevard. So it kind of completes that loop right there. So that's one thing that we wanted to do, is to make that connection. Going to District 2, we wanted to complete Stedham Circle. District 1, we were proposing Stedham Circle on this side, completing this loop. So we want to complete it this way, all the way up to Old Waco Tanks Road. We entertained looking at Old Waco Tanks and providing sidewalks there, but again, it was not conducive to that. So we made a last-minute change, and we're proposing something here on North Moon Road. I know that's something that the city really has liked to do, and it's a pretty nice little arterial there that we would like to provide sidewalks. Well, at least we're recommending that at this time. And besides that, we're providing something here on Wilton Place within the district. And looking at Wilton is right here. You can see all the other existing sidewalks that are next to it, also providing access to all the way connectivity to Horizon Boulevard. On District 3, we're looking at Santa Paula Drive to do something there along that neighborhood. And also, this was a last-minute change. Also, we found one project that wasn't, conducive to it because of the right-of-way problems that we had. So we changed it to Kendrick Circle and Ensenada Rey. On District 4, we had these two kind of side-by-side making a cross, Flor del Rio and Flor Bonita. And if you look at the map here, on District 4, those are right here. And you can see how you all have a lot of existing ones here. So we're trying, again, to provide that connectivity to all of these subdivisions here near in District 4. So in summary, what we did was just by district and the roads, the length of the projects, estimated costs, you can see there, we tallied up to almost $550,000. We left $50,000 to play with, and that's something that we could add another street or two easily with the bid package as an alternative. Let's say the bids come in low. We can do alternatives where the city has the option to add some more locations at y'all's discretion. And again, we try to keep this at about a mile per district, just because of those 4 miles that we're allowed to get with the $600,000. The next topic I was going to talk to you all briefly about was this transportation alternative set-aside program that TxDOT had. As I mentioned, it was over $250 million that's basically granted out to people around the state of Texas. And the deadline was January 21st. So we worked with the city staff, and the application was turned in on time. The way the schedule is, on March 27th, later on this month, we're going to be notified whether you all were eligible for what we submitted. And hopefully we get good news, and if we do, then we do a detailed application. And the detailed application includes a better estimate, maybe more maps, and whatever else that they need. And that's due on June 5th. If all things go well, we're looking at getting some good commission award in October of 2023. There's 4 categories on this set-aside program. What we introduced as sidewalks was with the large transportation projects, and those are the projects that are from $5 million to $25 million. And actually, what we submitted was a cost of $22.1 million, and it accounted for approximately 45 miles of sidewalk. So that's pretty good. It's not everything that you'll have in the in your proposed sidewalk master plan, but it's most of it. It's about 85% of that. And again, it follows all the sidewalk master plan. It's not everything, but it's most of that. And that's really all I had on those two subjects. Again, I'll entertain any questions you all may have at this point or any comments.
Mayor.
Ms. Villalobos?
Good evening. How did you guys determine which streets to start with?
Well, again, we look at the master plan a lot, and we look at the schools that we identified, the places of worship and the parks, and try to finish some things that we felt were incomplete, and providing that key term is connectivity to something. We don't want to just get something in the middle of nowhere that's not connected to something, to a major thoroughfare, to a Horizon, or to, FM 76 or Alameda or something like that. So that's how we determined that. We actually drove most of these projects with the city staff. And that's what we noticed, that we had some right-of-way issues. So we actually changed some to show you what I presented today, as far as some that we think are viable and opportunities. But this is not set in stone. It's something that's up for you all. I mean, it's you all's districts, and it's up for comments if you all have any suggestions. Again, if we do get lucky with the 22.1 million, I mean, everybody's going to get their lion's share of there, and there'll be a lot of projects that we can do there, a lot of miles, 45 miles. So that's one thing that we're kind of holding on. With $600,000, unfortunately, we can only get to 4 miles, and that's only on one side of the road, 5-foot sidewalks. I know sometimes you'll have some where it's on 2 sides of the road, but obviously that will cut your distance that you could construct in half if we do that.
Thank you.
Give me 1 second. Ms. Villalobos, did you finish with your questions?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, Mr. Cruz?
Hey, good evening. I understand that, I know one of the factors that you try to use in trying to evenly distribute the footage of sidewalk that's going to be laid in every district. And I understand that every district's unique, and we have very unique areas to represent. My area is the historical district. It's the older district, and I understand that there's a school zone there off of Buford, and I know there's some sidewalk on one side of the road, and by Bulldog Park, we can't continue that sidewalk all the way down that road because of the city's right of way. I know it's kind of narrow. There may be some light poles that we wouldn't be able to disturb in laying in a sidewalk. So I noticed that you figured out Santa Paula would be the best route. So, and I know it's a conversation to be taking place in the future. What other ideas or strategies have you guys talked about in being able to make those walkways come to light? I understand that in the area that I represent, there's still children that live in that area, and I don't understand that you've titled it not you, but we've titled it the safe way, safe routes to school. Mm-hmm. And I know sometimes we can't make a safe route to school because there's no option for us. So what else can we do?
Yeah, and you're exactly right about Buford. We had proposed that, if you can see the map here, right where it leaves off all the way to the end, to Socorro Road, and that would have been, we thought it was great, but when Mr. Rodarte and we actually drove that project, we said it's not conducive to that, so we had to take it away, unfortunately. To make it acceptable, the sidewalk doesn't need that much clearance, because it doesn't bother utilities. All you need is 5 foot of a stretch of highway that's unimpeded by power poles, basically. And you also want to have, we saw some roads that well, they're facing the backs of the houses, so you don't really want to do that. You want to see the front where people will use it. You don't want to build a sidewalk that they're not going to use or it doesn't seem practical to have. But yeah, unfortunately, those power poles will probably have to be moved. Another area, you have a lot of these canal crossings that go, and when you have canals, you have the Melvin guard fence, and they come right to the edge of pavement. Obviously, that crossing would have to be extended, whether it be a box or a small bridge or something. It would have to be extended to have those 5 foot go through there. it can be minimal, but it can be costly because of that. I mean, to widen a bridge, 10 feet to get you a 5-foot sidewalk is going to be pretty costly. So that's something, and to move power poles, as you know, is very costly also. That's a utility that you need to do.
I understand. Well, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, what are we going to be taking action on to move forward with the project here?
It's just a presentation.
Well, it says
It's a
presentation,
discussion
discussion,
and
and action.
It does.
Discussion.
Mr. Nevares had made a motion.
Yeah, I'm going to second the motion.
Ms. Rodarte has a question. I mean, you raised your hand.
Oh, Ms. Rodarte?
Yes, Mayor, so we just need a direction from council if you want us to move forward with the streets that have been recommended to you all, or if you all want any changes. If this item does go through, then we start on the bid documents, and hopefully within a month, we can start working on this project.
Yeah.
And it's good sidewalks.
Yes. Ms. Villalobos?
I would have loved to have drive by there before I vote today. Yes, I want, I agree that you probably did the best study that you could, but I would also like to see it for myself out there, simply because there's other areas that have been requesting sidewalks for a lot longer than this new development. For me, it's very hard because I get the residents from the old development saying, when is it going to be our turn? And they don't understand that a lot of the sidewalks, like streets, were developed by the developer and not the city of Socorro when they started building. And so when we're looking at this subdivision, it's a newer subdivision, and they're also getting a side of the sidewalk on one end. I would have loved to have, go ahead, Mrs. Oleta.
Yeah, so the two streets that are being recommended in your area are actually older communities that are abutting these new developments that, we hear a lot when people come in and say, well, you're forgetting about me. These new developments are coming up and we don't have sidewalks and we don't, so where you're seeing these two streets, these are older communities, right? It's the old Socorro that is actually getting, that way it's connected from the new subdivision to the older communities. And we felt it was a good way that we can tie it in, and it goes into, it ties into Peters and Telep. Okay, so it is part of the older communities.
That is awesome to hear. Thank you for the clarification.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Yes.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 8, presentation on the process to address landlocked properties in the city of Socorro.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Lorraine Quimito, Planning and Zoning. This presentation today is on landlocked properties. Landlocked properties are tracts of land that are inaccessible to public or dedicated road. They might have access crossing other properties that are adjacent to them, and typically this is achieved through an access easement. Largely in this community, this has been a product of the Socorro grant and the development of that grant and the splitting of lots. Next. We avoid landlocked properties now through our zoning and subdivision codes. In our zoning code, we do not allow buildings to be moved onto a property or constructed unless they have access to a public dedicated road. In our preliminary plat process, we ask that developers lay out the lots and the access to the public roads if there are lots that need to be dedicated within the property that is being platted. those are outlined, and follow the city's street and design standards. So streets should conform to, as best as they can, to what we've laid out for them in our comprehensive plan. And they would coordinate with city staff to lay out those streets and make sure that all of the properties have access to public streets. Along with these design guidelines, we specify widths. So for a typical, for example, residential street, we require 40 feet of paved road and an additional 20 feet for right-of-way. So typically, when you all have seen plats for new developments, they look something like this. So this is Haciendas de Socorro. All of the residential lots are laid out, and you can easily see that the lots have access to the roads. Those roads are then connected to, the larger system. Now for landlocked properties, and you can see some in this map, the darker lot lines are visible to some extent, but they're long stretches, and sometimes again, the long history of Socorro, there are roads that people consider roads, but might not necessarily be dedicated roads. They might be agreements that have just been passed along, and nobody's kind of questioned them, but they might, in fact, very much might be landlocked properties. When staff, so again, for example, Varela is a, subdivision that was never formally platted. It's still in tract form, and the owners might have created their own easements and been functioning that way for a very long time. Now, a quick search of the city data, staff was able to identify 402 landlocked properties and making up 2.35% of the total 17,629 parcels in Socorro. So this is approximately 2.7 square miles. And if you see the next slide, you'll get a sense of where all of those tracts are located. So what would a procedure look like for addressing these? It would, first of all, take an inventory of the land that's landlocked, getting an assessment of the road required to access all of those, meeting the width for those roads, coordinating with property owners where there are no identified property owner, doing title searches for those properties, surveying the properties and where those roads might go, and then platting so that we would be able to coordinate with the owners on either purchasing the right-of-way for the street or asking them to donate the property for the street, and then designing and constructing the roads. So this is kind of a simple process that's outlined, but it does also have a lot of nuances. Property rights in Texas are such that you would not want to have any kind of taking issue, and real estate law would very much be important to keep in mind as we negotiate and talk to the residents about laying out the roads. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Ms. Rodarte?
No, I just wanted to add that this presentation was conducted by Mr. Gallinar, and I know Ms. Lauren Kimaro is our new city planner. Thank you, Ms. Kimaro, for the presentation. You've done great. I know that we had a community meeting a couple months ago, and this is just the start to be notifying council, like what are the next steps to address and tackle this issue. As you can see, we have multiple parcels that are currently suffering from being landlocked and not having access to an actual roadway. What we staff are gonna do is moving forward is come up with a cost that we can bring back to council, and then we'll see how aggressive, and if we do funding in order to be able to take on this task. But I wanted to present to council just something of what is the process, and for you to all to see a view of what city challenges are within the whole city. And if you notice, it's 17,000 parcels that are currently in this situation. And I just wanted to add that to the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you and welcome.
Mr. Cruz?
Ms. Kimiko, thank you for presenting that to us. I know that this is something that the council's been working on. I think that also, along with step 5, we need to identify those easements that may not, or parcels of land. There's property owners that still don't have basic utilities. And I think that before we go in and start doing all the work, and we also need to bring in our partners from the exterior, and also identify those properties that don't have the utilities like the natural gas and sewer and stuff like that before we go in there and start laying pavement, because that's where the utilities are going to run eventually. I think that's the main concern. That's how it all started. That's how this all got going, because we want our people here to have basic utilities. We owe it to them. But at the same time, they need to understand that the roads that they're currently driving on that are not paved, they're not actual easements. They've just been made roadways throughout years and years of the existence of Socorro. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, and that's a very good point, being able to coordinate with the utilities and making that expense once of laying, paving, and yes, that's a very good point.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mayor, at this time, I want to make a motion to move items number 25, 30, and 31 up. In addition to that, I want to make a motion to move item 20 before item number 13 in the regular agenda. Jim, are we allowed to do that? All right.
Second.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares,
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia is absent, Rudy Cruz,
Yes.
and Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 25, discussion and action to approve the appointment of Maria T. Martinez to the Planning and Zoning Commission, Place 5.
Motion to approve. Second.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares,
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia is absent, Rudy Cruz,
Yes.
and Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 30, discussion and action to approve, no, I apologize. Item 31, discussion and action to approve the appointment of Osvaldo Reza to the Planning and Zoning Commission, Place 3.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares,
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia,
Aye.
Rudy Cruz,
Yes.
and Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Did you read them wrong, or did I put them wrong? Item number 32, swearing in of newly appointed commissioners.
Let's see if it's 31 and 32.
step forward? Would you step forward in front of the microphone, please? Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I have not directly or indirectly paid, offered, promised to pay, contributed or promised to contribute any money or thing of value, or promised any public or employment as reward to secure my appointment or confirmation thereof. Okay, one more. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Socorro, Texas, and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States and of this state. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Moving on to consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Ruben Reyes,
Add item number 20.
That
Before
will be
13.
next, right after consent agenda.
Okay. Perfect, thank you.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Yes.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 20, discussion and action to approve a memorandum of understanding, MOU, with the Workforce Solutions Borderplex WSB to establish a cooperative and mutually beneficial relationship to provide workforce services at EG Chayo Apodaca Community Center.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Alejandra Vlades, City Development Director. We are requesting your approval to enter into a partnership with the Workforce Solutions Borderplex. WSB, for short, is a regional government entity and a nonprofit corporation that provides workforce services to area residents. We're hoping to partner with them so that we can bring them here to Socorro so that they can provide all of their wonderful workforce services here to area residents. The Workforce Solutions Borderplex acts as an arm of the state and provides integrated workforce training, education, services, and programs. Some of the programs that they offer and services that they offer include job search assistance, career counseling, training assistance, job prep activities, placement assistance, and access to technology resources. In addition, they also provide some services to employers, including assessments, pre-screenings, recruitment screenings, and testing. And so we're hoping that we can create an integrated hub at the E.G. Chayo Apodaca Community Center where job seekers can get services from Workforce Solutions Borderplex, and also we can bring in our small businesses and our employers to connect with those job seekers. There is no exchange of funds in this MOU, and we're hoping to get your approval today. We do have Lucio Glenn here from the Workforce Solutions Borderplex who can answer questions if you all have any.
Does anybody have any questions? Do we have a motion?
Motion.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a second. Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Yes.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 13, discussion and action to approve Resolution 734, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Office of the Governor, OOG, Homeland Security Grants Division, fiscal year 2024 Local Border Security Program, LBSP grant for the Socorro Police Department. There is no match requirement for this grant.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. We are requesting your approval to submit an application to the Local Border Security Grant Program. We're requesting approximately $85,000 for the funding of overtime hours for our police department. We have participated in this program since 2018. There is no match requirement, but we do have to submit this resolution of support with the application.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Yes.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Item number 14, discussion and action to approve Resolution 735, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Office of the Governor's OOG Criminal Justice Division, CJD, fiscal year 2024 First Responder Mental Health Program for the Socorro Police Department. There is no match requirement for this grant.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. We're requesting your approval to submit a grant application for year 2 of the First Responder Mental Health Program. This program will provide peer support groups and some direct services for peace officers and first responders. There is no match requirement for this grant, but we are required to submit a resolution with a grant application.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Yes.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 15, discussion and action to approve Resolution 736, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Office of the Governor, OOG Homeland Security Grants Division, HSGD, fiscal year 2023, State Homeland Security Program, SHSP, LETPA grant program for the Socorro Police Department. There is no match requirement for this grant.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. We are requesting your approval to submit a grant application to the FY 2023 State Homeland Security Program, LETPA grant program. We're requesting approximately $49,000 to procure a drone, also called a small unmanned aircraft, for use by the Socorro Police Department's emergency response team in the event of high-risk incidents where the physical officer would be at danger to approach. There is no match requirement for this grant, but we are, again, required to submit this resolution with the application.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Yes.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 16, discussion and action to approve Resolution 737, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Office of the Governor, OOG, fiscal year 2024 Project Safe Neighborhoods, PSN program for the Socorro Police Department. There is no match requirement for this grant.
Motion to approve. Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. We're requesting your approval to submit a grant application to the FY 2024 Project Safe Neighborhood Program. We are requesting approximately $80,000 for the Socorro Project Safe Neighborhood Program to hire one additional officer under the Socorro Police Department. There is no match requirement for this grant, but again, we do have to submit a resolution from City Council with the application.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Yes.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos. Mrs. Villalobos.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes.
Item number 17, discussion and action to approve Resolution 738, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Office of the Governor Fiscal Year 2024 Criminal Justice Grant Program for the Socorro Police Department. There is no match requirement for this grant.
Motion to approve. Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. It is grant application season. We're almost done. We are requesting your approval to submit a grant application to the FY 2024 Criminal Justice Grant Program. We are requesting approximately $138,000 for the procurement of a gunshot detection system, surveillance cameras, and mobile automatic license plate readers for the Socorro Police Department. Again, there is no match requirement for this grant, but this also requires a resolution.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Yes.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 18, discussion and action to approve Resolution 739, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Office of the Governor's OOG Criminal Justice Division, CJD, Fiscal Year 2024 Violence Against Women Justice and Training Program for the Socorro Police Department. There is a 30% match requirement for this grant.
Motion to approve. Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. We are requesting your approval to submit a grant application to the FY 2024 Violence Against Women Justice and Training Program on behalf of the Police Department. We are requesting approximately $11,000. There is a 30% match, and the impact to the general fund, specifically the Socorro Police Department's budget, will be approximately $4,350, or actually up to $4,350 with 98 cents.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Yes.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 19, discussion and action to approve Resolution 740, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Office of the Governor's OOG Fiscal Year 2024 Rifle-Resistant Body Armor Grant for the Socorro Police Department. There is no match requirement for this grant.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. We are requesting your approval to submit a grant application to the FY 2024 Rifle Resistance Body Armor Grant. We are requesting approximately $33,000 to procure 20 rifle resistance body armor vests for use by the Socorro Police Department officers. There is no match requirement for this grant, but again, we do have to submit this resolution that we're presenting today.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Yes.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Moving on to Planning and Zoning Department, item number 21, discussion and action to approve Resolution 741, approving a final plat for the Socorro Logistics Commercial Center, Unit 1 being a portion of tracks 13A, 13A2B, and all tracks 14A and 14F, Block 5, Socorro Grant, Socorro, Texas.
Motion to approve for discussion?
Second.
Good evening, Ms. Mayor and council members. My name is Jose Botello with the Planning and Zoning Department here at the City of Socorro. Item number 21 is the Socorro Logistics Commercial Unit Number 1 Final Plat. So summary of the request is for approval of the Socorro Logistics Commercial Unit Number 1 Final Plat. A little background on this plat. The zoning is ICMUD, which is Industrial Commercial Mixed Use Development. The size is 8.4 acres. The address is North Loop and Englewood. The future land use map is for commercial, which is also the proposed land use. The request is to approve the final plat. The plat shows 6 commercial lots, 1 public right-of-way, and 1 private pond. There are no changes from the preliminary plat. The planning and zoning staff does recommend approval. So this is the location map of the Socorro Logistics Commercial Center Number 1. This is the zoning map. The large area in purple is outlining the ICMUD designation. These are the property pictures. The bottom picture, you can see the Juan de Herrera lateral, which is the outskirts of our city limits. This is an aerial image. You can see a little bit clearer the Juan de Herrera lateral, the darker brown line. This is the preliminary plat that was previously approved by City Council. This is the final plat. And moving forward, this is the final plat in a larger scale to see more detail. Next, we have the master plan phasing, which shows the Socorro Logistics Center master plan. The rectangle on the left with the dark black is the area being proposed for the final plat. And to conclude, the summary of the request, is the approval of the Socorro Logistics Commercial Unit Number 1 final plat. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions. I also have the applicants, Mr. Jorge Grajeda, in attendance, in case further questions are needed.
No question? No questions at the moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares,
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia,
Aye.
Rudy Cruz, and Yvonne Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Ms. Rodarte, did you have a question? Or was that a thumbs up? Thank you. Item number 22, discussion and action to approve event permit for the Peter Gonzalez as per section 36-255 of the City of Socorro Municipal Code. The event name is Lucha Frontera Socorro event on June 10th, 2023 at 11061 Socorro Road from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m.
Motion to approve for discussion?
Second.
Once again, good evening, Ms. Mayor and council members. My name is Jose Botello with the Planning and Zoning Department. Item number 22 on the agenda is the Lucha Frontera Socorro event permit. To keep it short, the applicant is Mr. Peter Gonzalez. The date for this proposed event is June 10th, 2023. The time requested is from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. The address for the event is at 11061 Socorro Road. And the request is for approval of an event permit for the Lucha Frontera Socorro event, and the planning and zoning staff recommends approval. Thank you.
Mr. Garcia?
How many porta potties are we looking at here? And what's the number of attendants, the max?
To be honest, Mr. Garcia, I was not provided that information. If I may invite the applicant to.
Go ahead.
And are we invited?
Si no llega Lucho, no, güey.
We provided a map, but I guess she didn't.
Yes, that's what I was asking, sir, I'm sorry. It looks like there's only 2 porta potties
Yeah, we have 2 porta potties, and
for how many people?
if we're lucky, we'll get 300 people, but
Okay.
at best, 300 people, yes.
Is that code? It's a question.
Sir, will you identify yourself?
Peter Gonzalez, Peter Gonzalez from Lucha Frontera. Purchased funeral home, just wants to give back to the community in that surrounding area. So that's why he's doing it. He always does things like this.
Okay. I'm just worried about not having enough bathrooms for everybody there.
We can put more if you need it.
You know, I don't know if it's do we have it in code or, I don't know, do we have that in code by chance? Does it, Ms. Udarte or anybody? Is there a code for that?
No, sir, but once we go through the permit review, we will review all of that information.
Okay.
So you guys give the approval, but he still has to go through the process and make sure he complies with all of the requirements.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Villalobos?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the number of people that he is, Mr. Gonzalez, the number of people you think might be attending? I didn't hear the number.
I'm saying like 175, but 300 at best.
Okay. And I'm sorry, what is this event? Can you talk a little bit about this event?
It's Lucha Libre. There's going to be like 12 participants, two referees, an EMT. We're going to have either police or security there. There's going to be 2 food trucks. Hopefully we get someone from Socorro so we can keep the money here in Socorro. They have to be, obviously they have to be permitted to be able to sell food. We're going to have the porta parties also with the wash, where you can wash your hands as well. And 2 commentators, and then hopefully people will show up. And maybe you guys will show up and enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares,
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia,
Aye.
Rudy Cruz, and Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Moving on to mayor and council, item number 23, discussion and action on city manager's yearly evaluation and bring results back to council for regular council meeting of March 16th, 2023.
Motion to approve?
Second.
This is just the yearly evaluation to, it's, as per her contract states, she must have a yearly evaluation, so this is one of, we had one last year, March, I believe, so this would be the same. March, they're due the next meeting.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares,
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia,
Aye.
Rudy Cruz, and Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes, but a quick comment. Next time, give us more time, please. Thank you.
I'm sorry, couldn't hear you.
Oh, next time, just give us a little bit more time, please. Thank you.
To give her more time? Is that what you said?
Yes, I said more time.
For more time?
No, next time. Not right now.
To fill out the
I'll send you an email.
application, is that
That's
what you
okay.
meant? Or to answer the question?
Yes, I'll send you an email.
So it's like a week. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah. Okay. Ms. Rodarte?
Just as a comment is, if you're going to place it on the March 16th meeting, the items are due on the 9th. So they would
Right,
need
so
to
it would
submit
be
them.
1 week, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, 1 week. Can everybody make it with 1 week?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
On spring break, so I'm good.
Go ahead. Item number 24, discussion and action to consider adoption of a written charge stating the basis for removal of Board of Adjustment Robert Renteria, Place 7, and direct city attorney to prepare the written charge. Mr. Renteria, I believe, has been absent many times, and it has caused
No quorum.
No
They haven't had a
quorum.
meeting since July of 2021.
right, so we need a different member.
Motion to approve? Second.
Mayor,
Ms. Villalobos?
was Mr. Renteria notified prior to?
No, this is just the
This
basis.
is the written charge, so he will be notified.
Right,
Okay.
we'll place it on the next agenda.
Okay, gotcha.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares,
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia,
Aye.
Rudy Cruz, and Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 26, discussion and action to consider adoption of a written charge stating the basis for removal of Board of Adjustment Emmanuel Nevares, Place 1, and direct city attorney to prepare the written charge.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mayor,
Mr. Nevares?
and if I may, of no relation. Thank you.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares,
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia,
Aye.
Rudy Cruz, and Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 27, discussion and action to approve the installation of a walking trail for Montreal Park in the amount of $30,000.
Hello, everybody. This is my item. This is something we kind of want to make sure we get our parks up to par, and this is something big for myself. I brought this up to talk about the ponding area that was placed in Montreal Park. When developed, I want to improve the quality of life. The benefits of a walking trail can provide communities of public health and even community pride and identity. I have talked to Ms. Ordate, and I will use some of my discretionary funds and general fund or capital fund to assist with the rest. This park is highly used, and this is needed in my area. It is used a lot. It is hidden, but it's a gem that is, we want to make sure that we upgrade for our Montreal Circle and District 2 constituents.
Second.
Who made the motion?
Yeah, Mr. Cruz?
How much of the discretionary funding are you gonna be using, and then how much?
10 grand.
10 grand, and then the other 20K out of the capital improvement?
Capital improvement.
And then, I don't know, but maybe later on in the future, they may have to access the ponding area when they clean or something like that. What material is gonna be used for the walking?
Well, it's a cement all around.
So the reason why I'm bringing it up is like if large vehicles need to go over that
Right.
walkway or
Well,
something.
it's not really a ponding area.
Oh, okay.
It's a ponding park. So it's a ponding park where they actually play soccer. Well, they have soccer goals. I don't think they're used there, but it is a park. It's a ponding park, not a ponding area. So it's totally different. So yeah, those are the two things that we've been working on. I know with Ms. Olarte, there's a little bit of park money left over from some other park projects that came out under budget, and this is something that I like for my constituents.
Who made the motion?
I said second, but I thought you had.
Oh, no, I didn't.
I make motion to approve.
Mayor.
Ms. Rodarte?
Yes, I wanted to just clarify, it's not concrete. We would be using asphalt. And the parks that we allocated some funding for the Cielo Claro Park, which was 65,000. We have completed that park with 35. And also Kruger Park, we had allocated 85,000. We do not believe we're gonna use all that funding. So there is funding available if you all approve this item.
Okay.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares,
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia,
Aye.
Rudy Cruz, and Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 28, discussion and action to approve Resolution 742, recognizing and supporting Public School Week, February 27th, 2023 through March 3rd, 2023.
This year, Public School Week is from December 27th through March 1st. It serves as a time to celebrate the achievements of our public schools and honor significant contributions and accomplishments of our students, educators, parents, and advocates. And this is largely how we got to, as a public educator myself, we got to celebrate our Teachers of the Years this year from public schools. And these are our backbone here in the city of Socorro, and grateful for them. Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz. And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 29, discussion and action to update Socorro Sunday schedule.
Again, my third item, Sunday Socorros have been fairly successful, especially with our markets, but when right now with the cold weather, a lot of our participation has gone down. So I want to bring back to one time a month, first of the month, where we do have a market and we do have more participation and just saving cost overall. And I guess in the summer months, if our participation does go up and more days are requested, we can come back and visit that item. But for right now, I would like to request first weekend of the month with our market to help our Socorro Sundays from the weather, especially.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz. And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 30, discussion and action to approve the request for the use of chambers for the Lower Valley Veterans Alliance monthly meeting to be held on the first Wednesday of every month during morning hours.
I want to make a motion to delete the item.
Oh, okay.
We're taking too long.
Second.
Are you serious?
They're going to fill out a facilities use form, and it's,
all right.
we don't have to go through it.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz. And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Do we have a motion to delete items 33, 34, and 35?
Motion to delete items 33, 34, and 35.
Second.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Yes.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Yes.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Meeting adjourns at 7:24 p.m.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.